you go.
Deep in the heart of Virginia, there's a place called the Blue Ridge Mountains, with so many hidden treasures awaiting you. This beautiful place has captivated the hearts of many people. These mountains go on for countless miles, with ginormous peaks, low valleys, and forests so dense you can never find your way out. But these areas serve as a refuge for countless species of plants and animals alike. These havens need attention and protection so that they aren't so easily destroyed. Because of how fast cities in Virginia are growing, these ecosystems are being threatened. These lands are slowly shrinking and giving way to cities, highways, and developments that span on for miles and miles. The Blue Ridge Mountains are a keystone of Virginia, not just for their beauty, but because of how much they benefit Virginia as a whole. The Blue Ridge Mountains are a source of clean drinking water, fresh air away from the urbanization with cars, machinery, and pollutants, and a sanctuary for many different species so that they aren't hunted. Without the proper protection, these mountains are at a giant risk of being destroyed forever. We need to act now so that these mountains can be preserved for future generations. Luckily, many people have seen the need to protect these mountains, and so there's volunteers and individuals who work tirelessly to protect them. Some of the things they do are start cleanup drives so that trash can be taken out of the mountains. They work to plant trees, and they start programs that bring awareness to the importance of preserving these mountains. Times like these, when urbanization is so rapid, it's crucial that we come together to support our conservation efforts for the Blue Ridge Mountains. All of us working together can make an impact. And in 10 years from now, just imagine it, a place just as beautiful and awe-inspiring as it was over 200 years ago. So let's make sure that the future generations can experience the beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Ridge Mountains stand secure as a national treasure for all time, an ancient and sacred space that is maintained as a model of natural and cultural preservation, a free and accessible destination for recreation, discovery, and renewal that inspires others to join and sustain our effort. Our mission at the Friends of the Blue Ridge is to preserve, enhance, and celebrate the Blue Ridge Mountains as a valuable resource and treasured space for current and future generations. Please go online to friendsofblueridge.org to donate now. We need heroes now.
In our time hiking, we explored the trail up to the lodge of Bear's Den, as well as the trails at the Blue Ridge Center for Environmental Stewardship.
Bear's Den is owned by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy and operated by the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. It provides a connection to the roller coaster part of the trail. The beautiful lodge featured sits on 66 acres of land. The cabin was built in the 1930s and originally served as a private mansion. The hiking trails take you on a relatively easy path leading to amazing views of our very own Blue Ridge Mountains. For more experienced hikers, you can take the trail with more challenging terrain. Either way, you will see various wildlife and scenery that will make your trip worthwhile.
As we continued our exploration at the Blue Ridge Center of Environmental Stewardship, we learned about the 900 preserved acres of land enriched with wildlife. At the welcome stand, you can pick up a map showing the various trail options. Most of the trails are very short and easy. Starting at the Farmstead Loop, we hiked to the Piney Run Trail, which took us to the creek. The creek is a perfect spot to cool down and take a break from your hike. The refreshing water and calming sound is the perfect way to refuel as you prepare to continue on the trail.
After completing our adventures in the Blue Ridge Mountains, we were able to see how beautiful nature so close to us can be.
We hope that after seeing some of what the local trails have to offer, you, the viewer, may decide to go and check out a trail near you.
Vegetation, referring to the ecological and biological patterns found across a particular area. Across the Blue Ridge Mountain region, many different types of vegetation can be found. The parkway is home to over 1,400 species of vascular plants. This includes trees, grasses, shrubs, flowering plants, and ferns. Nearly 85% of the parkway's land is covered by forests. The main matrix communities in the Northern Virginia Blue Ridge region include the basic oak hickory forest, normally located at lower elevations, the oak heath forest, located at low and middle elevations, the montane oak hickory forests, located at middle to high elevations, and finally the northern red oak forest, normally found at higher elevations. Finally, don't forget to preserve the vegetation of the Blue Ridge Mountains.
The Blue Ridge Mountains have not only been a staple of the state's geography, but also the country's geography. I've noticed that there's this widespread tendency among people that think that the Blue Ridge Mountains are merely just those mountains that you see off in the distance while driving to a relative's house, but really, it's so much larger than that. Sure, there might not be any huge towering mountains, but it's still the Blue Ridge Mountains. These forests, these hills, these vineyards, all this wildlife, it's still the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's really important to think about that. In order to get more up close and personal with the mountains, I decided to visit a few places. One such place that I went to was the Blackburn Trail Center. The Blackbird Trail Center itself is a very popular camping spot, especially for hikers in the area, but it's also a really good starting spot for hikes. And there's this one hike that starts there. It's about 9 miles long. And while I didn't take the full hike, the part that I went through, it was beautiful. There were these lovely patches of ferns where the sun hit them and it looked like that they were glowing. And there were these giant sloping rocks and piles of boulders, and it blows my mind. These are not artificially put there. They are there by nature and not really touched by man. My favorite part, however, was the viewpoint where you could see for miles. This it was There are very few words that really describe how beautiful it is, even in person, and I highly recommend people visit there at some point. Another highly underrated spot to look at some wildlife along the Blue Ridge Mountains is the Bears Den Trails. The Bears Den Trails are quite popular and family friendly places to hike, but the most impressive part is that there's this shelf of rocks which you can sit on or stand and get a beautiful view of the entire Loudoun County area. It's unlike anything there is. The next time you're taking a small walk or sitting in the passenger seat of the car, even waiting for someone, just stop for a minute and take a look at the surroundings. It doesn't have to be long. Just look around. Watch the birds fly from tree to tree, the different shades of green and the little patches of grass that are on the sidewalk or the side of the road. It's really beautiful and it shouldn't be taken for granted.